Happy January 1st, 2020. Like, is that weird to any of you? I remember thinking of like 2020, what it was going to be like, and people were saying that there's going to be flying cars, and I was like, I feel like it's never going to be here. And now it's like our present day, and it's very bizarre to me. It's very weird. I'm excited though. Does anyone else like feel a sense of hope about 2020 and like excitement that like we're kind of get a new chapter?
For sure.
I know. Yeah. I know several of you, myself included, 2019 was kind of brutal. Like it kind of beat us up a little bit. So I'm very much looking forward to it. Thank you guys for showing up this morning. So what I want to do first, I want to just talk about logistics, but most of our call, I want to talk with you guys about your vision for this year, and talk about like it's so important for us to revisit why we're showing up. And as you guys know, that life in general, but this business, it can get hard sometimes. Insecurities can pop up when you didn't even know that they were there. And so it's so important for us to revisit why we're doing this and reignite our belief in our ability to be successful. So I want to talk about that because, to be honest with you, if you don't have that, it doesn't matter. You could know all the secrets to this business. You could know all the secrets to how to run a challenge group. It doesn't matter. It won't be successful if you lose that piece. So that's why I thought it's a perfect thing to start the year off with. But first, I want to talk about our level up groups. I want to make sure everyone's on the same page. Everyone knows expectations. Everyone got into level 1. I think everyone in here is in level 1 of our level up group, correct? Is anyone not? Everyone on this call, I'm pretty sure is. Naomi, do you not know? You're muted. I think that.
No, I have no clue. I didn't really look at it, to be honest.
Okay. That's why I want to talk about it, because it's important, because there's actions that are required to be in it. Let me look and make sure. I don't know why Facebook is like, yeah, you're not. Facebook is pissed off at me, and it's putting a ban on me inviting people to groups. Yeah. I'm temporarily restricted from adding people to groups until January 14th. This is so weird. I don't understand. I'm not inviting like a bajillion people. So here's what I'm going to do. I want you all in the chat box. I'm going to put the link to the group. And I want you guys to have it, because if any of you have any new coaches who sign up who want to actually work the business, this is the place to put them. I think for all of us, one of the biggest hesitations to inviting to coaching is the feeling of, if someone gets started and I get someone pumped up about this business opportunity, I have no freaking idea what to do with them. And I feel like I'm going to let them down, or I feel like I don't have any place to put them. I don't know if you guys have felt that way, but that's been a struggle for me. A huge piece of huge chunk of my business. Even though that I had something to do it for them, I just feel for the first time as a team, the level up groups are going to instantly add accountability and expectation of action, rather than people getting stuck in training and learning. Training and learning is important, but action is more important than anything. And our goal for any coach is for them to see success. If they're not seeing success, they're going to quit. And so that's the point of these groups. So I'm going to briefly cover it, even though I think most of you know the expectations of these groups. I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. So in these groups, in the unit section, let me actually share my screen so that you can see. Okay. So this is level 1, and this is intended for new coaches through people growing to Emerald. Now, everyone, even if you're a diamond coach, is starting in level 1 this week. So in the units section, I've put trainings, everything that someone would need to know as a new coach. So nothing more, but to be successful, you will learn everything you need to know in these resources right here. So there's a new coach checklist that will walk someone through how to watch the 5 videos that Beachbody just created. I think it was in December. It's only 22 minutes altogether, and there are 5 very cool videos of how, like, everything you need to know with Coach Online Office, like the basics. That's all in the new coach checklist, as well as a couple other things. In this tab, you'll see the business activity tracker is linked right here, as well as a YouTube video that I did yesterday where I walk you through, and some of you need to watch this. So I walk you through how to use it. And I only uploaded this tracker because, in my opinion, it's more comprehensive than the other one that we were using. Oh gosh, it downloaded it. I just wanted to open it. So for those of you who don't know, this, if it'll ever open, the Success Club activity, Success Club Systems business activity track is like the longest name in history. When they created it, it was off of a ton of research they did of consistently successful coaches. So they interviewed coaches who were hitting Success Club every month and who were mentoring other coaches to be successful in their business, and duplication was happening. And they asked them, what are you guys doing to be successful? Because not everyone's having the same success. And the difference they saw were these activities. And that's why this is actually really powerful, because it's based on research. And I'm really thankful that corporate did that. But in the video, I literally walk you through what each section looks like and how to go through it. So I think that's going to be really powerful for everyone. And this is the new coach checklist, you know. The next one is to set up your list of 10 in play, which most of you have heard me talk about. And there's a video in here. No, there's not. This is just an action step, how to set up your list of 10 in play. Basically, always keeping your funnel full, always talking to more people, always having 10 conversations going on will ensure that you don't get stagnant, which is a very common problem people have. I did this video yesterday as well. Some of these videos are like, she's wearing the same thing, because I did like 3 or 4 videos in one day. This is how to get more people interested in what you're doing. So how many of you feel like conversations are forced, or you just run out of people, or you get stuck on social media and you don't know who to invite, or invites feel like uncomfortable? Does anyone feel that way? I know a lot of you do. Okay, so in this video, I talk about the fact that your biggest, I don't want to say responsibility, but mission as a coach is to talk to more people. And it doesn't matter if that's on social media or in person. This is the beauty of this business, is that you have people who, like one of my good friends now, Amy Bailey, has like 70,000 followers on Instagram, who grew organically from only 500 followers. She was a teacher, had no experience with anything, and she posted 7 times a day because she was so passionate about what she was doing. And she learned how to leverage hashtags. She has great Instagram trainings. You have her, who her whole business is from Instagram. And then you have someone like, oh my gosh, I see her face. Sarah, who's she's the grandma coach. Oh my gosh.
Oh no, I forgot.
What's her name? You know what I'm talking about though, right?
Milan Jensen.
Milan Jensen. Milan Jensen. Milan Jensen. So inspiring. She was one of the founding Beachbody coaches, and she doesn't have a social media like at all. She built her entire business, and she's very successful, off of in-person conversations. And I was on a conference call with her, and she was like, yeah, if I go to Costco, like every Tuesday, I'm making friends in line and I'm asking people, you know, do you come here every Tuesday? Like it's slow today. And she just starts making conversations and connections with people everywhere she goes. She does in-person presentations on coaching, and I love her because she doesn't like the name Beachbody, and I know a lot of people feel that way. They feel like it's superficial or whatever. And she's like, I'm a grandmother. Like, imagine me going around telling people about a company called Beachbody. And I love her perspective because she's just very authentic. And she says, you know, the name's a little weird, Beachbody, but for once, someone got weight loss right. And that's her genuine feeling about what we do and why it's so unique, and it works really well for her. And so I share that with you because no matter what your vibe is, your lifestyle is, your situation is, talk to more people. You have to figure out how to make more connections with more people. And I don't mean, and I share this in this video, so this is going to be kind of redundant, but I don't mean reaching out to people and saying, hi, I'm a Beachbody coach. Don't ever, ever lead with that. Always lead with who you are as a person and make genuine connections with people, because over time, those genuine connections are going to pay off because people are going to follow you and they're going to see your transformation. They're going to see your healthy habits and they're going to want to know what you're doing. But if you lead with sales, I'm a Beachbody coach, I sell Shakeology, nobody has an emotional connection to that. And they're all going to probably avoid you. So talk about that in this, especially for new coaches. These are the sign-up tools. This is how you sign people up. And then this part is really helpful, and a lot of you probably need to read this. So this is, once someone's interested, how do you talk to them? And so in this, I go through, and I know, Amy, you had asked me before, like, do you ever feel awkward selling Beachbody? And I don't look at it as we sell things. Yes, there's a transaction involved, but I look at myself, and you all have the same potential, capability, and you should look at yourself as, especially for those of you who are in the beginning stages, it's like you're in an apprenticeship to be a professional in the health and fitness industry. And some of you are already ready to feel that way. I'm a professional in the health and fitness industry. And so when someone has a problem, they should know to come to you. And this is the beauty of social media, right? They should know to come to you to get a solution, a unique solution to whatever their problem is. That's what coaching is. It is not selling mascara or a belly wrap to everybody. We customize what we're doing and what we're recommending based on the person. And so in this training, I just go over why it's so important when someone's interested ever in anything that you're doing to never give them information without asking questions. And so there's some sample bad and good conversations in this resource that I really want you guys to go through, some sample questions to ask, and I think it's going to be really helpful. And then lastly, this is one of my most popular videos on YouTube. Surprisingly, I did this like, I don't remember, a month after I had Liam. And this is how to hit Emerald in 24 hours. And while most people don't have that ambition to do that, that's okay, because the principles are still valid, even if you want to do that in a week. The problem that I see most people make when they shoot to hit emeralds fast and they're like, okay, I'm going to sign up my mom and my husband, that's what I did, is they stop. Don't stop, because then you're going to feel extremely frustrated. You're not going to make any money, and you're going to eventually have to cancel your husband's account because you're not making any money with it. It's costing you more. And I talk about that in here, and I write about it right here in the disclaimer. But if you're someone who's like, I have a big vision, I have big dreams, this is like going to take me places, I'm not going to stop, I'm going to continue to be consistent, this is where you have to start, is at Emerald. So this is level 1. that's everything in the unit section besides on the personal. So there's unit 2 is personal development recommendations. And Becky, I did see your message. I don't know the author's names off the top of my head, other than the compound effect is Darren Hardy, right? Is that right? Okay. Atomic Habits is James Clear. Maybe you do know all of these. You're a Badass is Jen Sincero. You're a Badass is great for people who struggle with confidence. And you have to be willing to want to grow in your confidence in this business. I thought I was a confident person coming in here. And then when you get people questioning you and trolls on the internet trying to tear you down, it does take a shot at your confidence. And if you're not constantly reminding yourself that you were made on purpose, for a purpose, and that this is a passion of yours, and you're not going to make everybody happy, then it's going to get the best of you. So that's what I like about You're a Badass. I know it was Naomi's first book, and I think that she had a good experience with it.
Loved it.
I remember. Did you read it too? Okay.
I read it, and I actually, Beachbody had a competition back where we actually got to, if you hit Success Club or something, I can't remember, it was way back, we actually got to have a video with her.
How cool.
And yeah, it is a very, very good book for confidence. And I'm the same as you, as I thought I was a confident person. Mm-hmm. I am on some levels. But when people start questioning you and throwing stuff at you in a negative way, you start to, it's not that you're questioning your beliefs, you're just questioning it being the right fit.
Totally.
And just to jump on, I'm not going to take this call because I know you've got a list of things you want to go. One thing I just wanted to put out there is don't quit or do what I did. Don't be I'm going to do this. I'm going to be so successful. This is amazing. I finally found what I want. I'm very passionate about it. I heard no, maybe, no, I can't. It's too expensive. I don't want to right now. This isn't for me. And I backed off to the point of I'm a Beachbody coach, but I just do it for me for so many years, and I missed out on a lot. Keep pushing. It will happen.
That was me for 6 months.
Years.
Yeah, Felicia, how long have you been a coach now?
So many. I think it's like 10 now.
Okay.
And I hit Emerald, and I think I love the way Jessica's doing it, you guys. I think that you guys just need to follow what she says and just continue to do it. The training on here is amazing. Not every coach does this. And you do need to have action, and you do need to be talking to people, but it does need to be authentic. If you are interested in other people's lives on an authentic basis, and I don't even mean their health, I mean their kids, their everyday, commenting on their posts, even if they're not commenting on yours, giving sincere feedback and input, and then showing up every day as a Beachbody coach and as a proof of the product, they will come. It's like, I thought I was listening to Atomic Habits when I was falling asleep, and if you build it, they will come. Just keep building it. And one person actually said this, and I was like, okay, that's so true, and I've got to do this. No matter what, I don't care if there's one person showing up and listening to your video. You do a video. I don't care if there's one person that likes your post. You do that post, because eventually there's going to be 10, and then 100, and then 1,000. You just have to keep showing up for that one person, because you could be making a difference for that one person. And if you quit, that one person might not change. So.
Amen. It's so true. And I don't know how many of you follow my coach, Liz Hartkey, on Instagram, but on her stories yesterday or the day before, she was talking about, and you guys know she's extremely successful. She's at the top of the company. She's built her business right. She's in the Million Club, and she's 32. Like, she's extremely successful. But she was talking about how she led our team call on Monday she's visiting her parents from her childhood bedroom. And she said it was so surreal because 8 years prior, she used to lead weekly team calls, and they were call-in conference calls. This is before Zoom, and no one showed up. Like for the first, I want to say she said like 6 months to a year, no one ever showed up, but she showed up every week, and she led those calls, and she practiced. And that's like, some of you have asked me how I'm so confident and do so well with video. The same. I've just continued to show up and do them even, and I will never forget my first live video sitting on my living room floor. The sun was beating at me from my window, and I had my laptop on like 7 pillows, and I was sweating profusely. It wasn't even that hot, but like the adrenaline, and I was like so sweaty. But again, if, like Felicia was saying, if you keep showing up, they're gonna come, and your confidence is gonna shift. And that's what really attracts people. I've told you guys this before, but I'm gonna remind you, especially for those of you who are new, people are gonna watch you for a year before they ever respond or reach out to you. It was so weird. Literally at my 1 year mark, I had like 7 people reach out to me and say the same thing. So I've kind of been stalking you for a year now, and now I'm finally interested in what you're doing because I realize it's not a fad. People are thinking it's a fad. All the people who are like, this is a pyramid scheme, all the doubters, make it your mission to prove them wrong. If you get people coming at you saying that Shakeology is too expensive, prove to them, and I mean, however you want to, but this is how I use social media. I prove to them why it's not expensive. I do the math in my own head and do the research on my own to, and you guys know this about me, but to prove to people why our approach to health and fitness is so unique and it's unlike anything else out there. I promise you, there's nothing else out there that's this affordable and this comprehensive, because you're getting nutrition, fitness, support, accountability, a free freaking coach, and you're getting the supplementation, which we all need because we're all stressed the F out, right? That doesn't exist out there. And if you were to go find it, all of you probably know it'd be 3 to 10 times as expensive as a challenge pack. And once you guys get that shift of confidence, everything is going to be so much easier for you, because it doesn't matter when people tell you it's too expensive, because you know better. And your mission now is to just help people understand, because they truly don't understand. They don't understand coaching, and they don't understand what we have to offer. So your mission now is to learn how to educate them and prove them differently. Okay, Holly and Becky, I see your questions. I just want to mention one more thing, because this is the most important part about these level up groups. In the description part of the group, you're going to see the instructions. These are accountability groups, action accountability groups, and you will be removed if you don't follow the instructions. And this is a lot to put on myself, especially because there's 3 levels of these groups. And every single Thursday, let me go to the albums section. You'll see that already several of you have done this, which I'm really proud of you. So you need to create an album. Create your own album, upload your picture, and every Thursday, starting on the 9th. So this is not starting tomorrow, this is starting on the 9th. Every Thursday, you are required to upload a picture of your tracker. That could be, you take a picture with your phone. If you're doing digital trackers, that's totally fine. Take a screenshot. I don't care how you guys do it, but every week on Thursday, I'm going to go look to see who has posted a picture of their tracker. And Felicia, after, we'll talk about like your unique situation. For those of you who don't know, Felicia is waiting for her, is it in May, April?
Beginning of May, like
Beginning of
2nd of May, I think.
She can relaunch her Beachbody business.
Yes.
So
I up-leveled my coach.
yes.
That, and you know, my experience is super unique in a lot of ways. That I have been a Beachbody coach for a really long time, and I was under a friend of mine who I tried to stick it out with. She would relaunch her passion for it, and then try to do some training, and then go away again, relaunch, go away again, relaunch, go away, and so then I did that It was like yo-yo dieting. I yo-yo beach bodied. And when I actually went to a Super Saturday, I met Jessica and kind of had already followed her a little bit prior to that. And based off of her energy, decided that I wanted to make the jump. And there was other coaches I could have done it, but right timing, I feel like. But I also, piggybacking off of the sales aspect of it, I have a unique view on that as well, because I actually have been in many gyms as a personal trainer, as a manager. And I can tell you the last job that I had, my biggest obstacle was getting the people who worked for me to understand that what they offered wasn't expensive. It is not expensive. As a personal trainer, I will charge $25 for 30-minute sessions and $40 for an hour session. That's just for me to be there with you when you work out. So keep that in mind when you're doing that. But yeah, my situation is I'm waiting until then to actually, again, be a quote-unquote Beachbody coach, but I don't want to go away. So Jessica has agreed to allow me to be in the company of everyone and to try to still, do my social media and my Instagram. I'm still using Hammer and Chisel right now. I'm still a customer. I still use Shakeology and all of that, but I'm not going to be able to do some of the things you guys can do. So
It's gonna be good though.
yes.
Just like relaunching a business, which I'm really
Yeah.
excited for you about.
Yep.
Okay, cool. And thank you for sharing that. So does anyone have questions about this component of uploading your tracker? Because this is the most important part. If you don't do it on Thursday, on Friday, I will go through and I will remove people who don't do this part. And you will be able to earn your spot back in, but it's going to be harder and it's going to take longer. And here's why I'm doing this. And I've shared this a little bit in one of my other videos on our team page, but tough love has never been a strength of mine. Like when I was a pitcher, a very competitive pitcher in softball, and there was to spare you a long story, there was an extremely arrogant player on the other team who was literally trash talking me as she was up to the plate to be the batter. And my coach literally gave me a million signs to hit her, like not punch her, but like hit her as a pitcher to just bean her. And I could not do it. Like I could not. It was so obvious to everyone. And my coach is jumping up and down in the dugout, as well as so was my stepdad, who was assistant coach. And I couldn't do it. Like it just wasn't. I'm too nice, whatever. So in coaching, I will be honest with you, one of my weak spots is giving you guys constructive criticism, because I never want you to feel bad about what you're doing, right? Because I know a lot of you work hard. But here's the problem. I'm having another kid. I'm having another kid for a total of 3. And it is to the point where I want to invest my time and my energy and my mentorship in the people who are already showing up for themselves. And what I've done the past 3 years is I've tried, because I'm so desperate for you guys to be successful, because I see so much potential in so many of you, that for a lot of people, I've tried harder to grow your business. I'm just as a third person, your business, than some of the people who I've been mentoring. I've been showing up more than they have for their own business. And that's not right. That doesn't help anybody. And so the point of these groups is my one-on-one calls, like direct mentorship, a lot of our close-knit team stuff's going to be in these level up groups. And not everybody wants to grow their business. And that is totally fine. Some people just want to be a hobby coach and like here and there refer people, and that's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But they don't need to be in these level up groups because they're not wanting to necessarily level up. So that's the point of these groups. It's added accountability, and I want you guys to know what it takes to grow a business. And I feel like maybe a piece of me has done a disservice of trying to make things too easy. I had none of this. I had nothing when I first started. Liz was extremely busy. She was on her climb to 15-star. And I think in my first 2 years of business, I maybe had 4 or 5 one-on-one calls with her, maybe in 2 years. And I didn't feel like I had deserved them yet, which was weird. Like that was my perspective, but I just think that this is going to be really good for everybody. It's going to push you out of your comfort zone and show you what it takes to build a business so that you can be successful, because that's the goal for everybody. So,
Can I say
yeah, absolutely. Please do.
Okay. One of my hesitations with this, and I kind of changed my mind since last night. By the way, I am sorry for saying so. Like, I was looking for ways to go ahead and expand my business. Then right after that, I saw your video. I'm like, oh my gosh, But it was a great video too. I did watch that last night. So, but one of my is this going to be a crutch for us as coaches, that we're just depending on you too much and we're not actually like our own independent coaches where we know how to handle our shit? I mean, no offense there. Is this something that would hold us back, or is this going to be, this was my thought from last night. Now I actually think that it's a good thing to go ahead and get this knowledge and to, use it and then become independent and really focused on growing, without having to just rely on you. Because I don't want to put that on you either, because I know you have a young family and growing and all that kind of stuff. And I never wanted to be, like somebody's hindrance or, stopping them. That was my thought from last night, which has kind of changed. Does that make sense? Or?
Yeah, it absolutely does. And I appreciate that, because actually how I feel like mentored people before, thank you, has created that dependency. And when I went to the leadership retreat in Wisconsin, I realized I felt like before, if I make everything easy for everybody, then of course they'll be successful, because I'm running the challenge groups and I'm doing the things. All they have to do is invite people, and it was doing everybody disservice. And so the point of these is to really, for everybody to take their business more seriously. This is why my mentorship's only going in these groups. So if you're not showing up and you can't upload your own tracker, then you're not ready for that yet. And that takes something off my plate, instead of me, because before I would individually try to reach out to everybody, even if they're not showing up. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then the other component to this, I'm so glad you brought that up, is as you guys level up to level 2 and level 3, once you get to diamonds level 3, you're going to be required to be in this level 1. The point of this is to show you guys how to duplicate this business. And so as you get new coaches signing up and wanting to grow a business, you're not having to figure out everything on your own as far as how to train them on your own, especially for those of you who are still new, because you don't know everything. It's impossible. So you're going to be mentoring them as well in these groups. The point of our challenge group, the way that we combined it takes a lot off of my shoulders, but I'm still trying to show you guys this is how you can run a challenge group and we can have a joint community, and everyone's kind of taking I'm not checking to make sure everyone's scheduling their posts. If they don't, then there's no post for the day. So in that sense, there's more responsibility on everyone's shoulders without feeling like you're on an island in a sense. But at some point, my goal for everyone absolutely would be for you to start your own challenge group with your own coaches. But most people on our team aren't there yet.
I like this because you can duplicate it.
Mm-hmm.
I like what you've done because I can see it and I can duplicate it when I'm ready. And I also think, JC, to like kind of piggyback off what you're saying too, is that it actually takes a little off of her, like she said, because she's not having to do this individually. And some of us who have been around a while, and I know Sarah does too, we can comment and answer you guys' questions if she can't get to it, versus her feeling like if a message is waiting and lingering out there about something, she has to get to it right away. So, and the whole island thing too is actually one of the biggest, I think, reasons that some coaches fail, is because they start to feel alone and, out there kind of just floating. And I know, like, when we did that power hour where we were all there, hardly anyone said a word, but we were all working on the business. I freaking love that. And that's one thing I'm actually going to start, once I'm able to do Beachbody, I'm going to start trying to see if a couple of you guys want to do that on a regular basis. As weird as it might sound, that you're not alone. You can see other faces doing the same thing. And it felt so good to do that. So I think this is actually really good for everybody, and I think it's going to keep everyone's spirits up.
I agree now. I definitely changed my mind about it from last night.
Awesome. I love that though, to be honest with you. Like I so appreciate you bringing that up because that's not how a lot of people think. I've had coaches start that's like, I need you to hold my hand. And I'm like, you're not going to do well in this, you know, like, because, and it's kind of like how you felt before too, JC. I don't want anyone to feel alone. And that's why I'm taking things like from putting everyone in one page in the Health Patriot Coach Leadership page to these levels. Because now new coaches aren't intimidated or overwhelmed when I share more advanced stuff. They're like, we're all new. So we all have the same questions and the same struggles and the same fears. So let's learn and grow together. Maybe together we can link arms so we can all go to level 2 together. So I think that takes a lot off of me. And it's more in cultivating our community, which I think will be really cool. That's the hope, at least.
So Jessica, just to clarify, so we're posting our trackers on the 9th. So
Yes.
we need to start using them tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Thank you. Yes. Yes. And here's the other thing I wanted to say about that, because I don't want you guys, and I've shared this with Sarah, like the balance. I don't want you guys to burn out. There are 7 days of work opportunity on there, but I'm not expecting everyone to work 7 days a week. You need balance in your life. You need to take family time. You need to break yourself. And so it's okay on those trackers for them to not be fully complete for 7 days. That's not what I'm looking for. The point of this is that so you can be honest on these trackers, because if you look and you're like, oh, at the end of the day, or let's say at the end of January, you reach out to me and you're like, man, this has been a really rough month. I've gotten no one interested. And I say, okay, let's look at your 4 trackers for the month. And we look and, oh, I've only sent 10 invites this month. And I only posted on social media 10 days out of the month. And I haven't followed up with anybody. Then that's a reality check. You're not working your business. As a business, you're not doing that. And then I can see, it's like seeing a food log for a client. This is where you need to work on. And then we can move forward from that. So these don't have to be 100% complete, but I want you guys to see with your own eyes what you're doing and what you're not doing. And that's how we're all going to grow. Because I think some of you stay really busy in your head, or stay really busy doing things that you shouldn't be doing to grow your business. Like it's not growing your business, but you feel like it is. And then you get frustrated because you're like, why isn't it working? But you haven't really done the things that are required to grow your business. So that's why I think this is going to be really helpful. Does that make sense? Okay. Cool. Okay, so that is really all you need to know about our level up groups for now. And I do want everyone to go through the unit section if you can this week. Even if you're beyond an Emerald coach, I want you to go through and make sure that you know all that stuff. Because in level 2, there's going to be different resources it's going to be specific to like the next level of your business. Excuse me. Okay, Holly, let me answer your question now, like 700 minutes later. So Holly had asked, as new coaches, how do we recommend the right program for someone without months of experience and knowledge? And I think that's a really great question. To be specific, I feel confident in the nutrition recommendations and supplements and Shakeology. It's actual workout programs I'm not sure of yet. Okay, perfect. So here's how Beachbody challenge packs have really changed and shifted since I started. In the beginning, it was fitness program focused. So you were recommending a specific challenge pack with only access to that one program. So when I started, I only got DVDs for 22-minute hardcore. We didn't have Beachbody On Demand. Now we have Beachbody On Demand. So you're actually making recommendations more off of their nutrition. We've become more of a nutrition focused company, which is so rad because that's the most important part of people's journey. And you can still reach people who want to stick with CrossFit or spin classes or going to the gym. So basically first of all, you can use me and use our team pages to say, hey, and some of you have done this. I have this person. These are their goals. These are their limitations. What would you guys recommend? Here's what I'm thinking. and then get feedback from other people who've been around longer. But in the beginning, usually you're getting people started how you got started, usually, because it's what you know and it's what you're putting out there, and you're inviting people to join your journey. However, I will say right now, the most popular ones are, you have, I think this month, 2B Mindset and Ultimate Push and Fix, there's a super sale, and I don't have the details in front of me. Sarah, do you know by any chance, or anyone?
It varies depending on the packages, but I think the basic kits are like $20 off, but then all kinds of combinations and things.
I need to know that. I know they were like 60% off last month. I don't know if they continued that. If you
I
added,
thought it was 50. I thought I was looking at it last night and I thought it was 50% off, but I might be wrong on that because
I should probably know that. Oh, I'm still sharing my screen with you guys, huh? Let's look. So I want to make sure everyone knows this resource. If you go into your coach office, there's Coach Breaking News, and that's where you would find this information.
Jessica, if I can comment on the fitness
Yeah.
program part of it. One thing too is that like some of the programs have fitness tests. I think maybe all of them do, but I know like the harder ones, like Shift Shop and like some, if it's somebody new to fitness, I definitely would recommend like looking at those fitness tests and kind of, you know, recommending that they do that. As well as I always start with like I think you had mentioned this, you know, questions. When you're talking to somebody, questions is the biggest thing. Get to know where their head is at, what their fitness level is, and know kind of in Beachbody On Demand, it'll tell you if the program is cardio based, if it's weight based, you find out what their likes and dislikes are. And it will tell you whether it's beginner, immediate, intermediate, or advanced. And just to give you an idea, the first time I did hammer and chisel, I thought I was intermediate to advanced. And I thought that because in my head, I am advanced in my knowledge, but I hadn't done it, you know, the workouts for a while. And they kind of kicked my butt, and I actually didn't finish that program the first time I tried it, even though I was in love with it. And now I'm doing it, and I'm like, going, wow, this is a lot easier than the first time around. Okay, so intermediate isn't what I thought it was. So a lot of times you really need to get to know the person and where they're at with their fitness, because you do not want to start them with a program that is going to that they're going to quit in 2 days and think, you know, that they can't do this. So that's one way to also start. I recommend Beachbody On Demand, but when they're looking at which program, and then have them try the sample programs, the sample workouts too, before they decide on a program, so that they don't feel like they decided, okay, fine, I decided I'm going to do the 21-day fix. They get into it, they don't like it, and they feel like a failure. But if they're trying the samples, they get to decide, do they like that? Because it's about liking the coach too. Do they like the trainer that's in the videos? Do they like the way the program is set up? So those are just a couple of things that I think work well as far as trying to get somebody started and figuring out which program.
I agree. And I think too, for those of us who don't have a fitness background, because it's hard, especially in the beginning when you've never done a Beachbody program other than one, tell them, like, and this is what I've used. That's the beauty of Beachbody On Demand. You try a program, you don't like it, we just teach you how to shift. And that's a life skill that you could teach people. We just shift things. We just try something different. I will say, because we're launching bar, unless it's something that you really hate, like you're like, I really don't like that, it won't bring me joy. Bar Blend is awesome for so many people. First of all, it's on sale. The $20 off challenge packs are $20 off. And they still get access to Beachbody On Demand. So if they try the program and they really don't like it, which I think a lot of people are going to be very humbled and really like the results they get, myself included, then they tried 21-day fix. 21-day fix across the board is one of the most common, popular starting programs, because it's so flexible with where people's starting points are, and anyone, like, you can finish 21 days. And so people get a quick win. They see, like, I know several of you started with 21 Day Fix. You get a quick win. It's only 30 minutes. You're getting cardio and weight training, and they feel encouraged, and then they can move on to the next one. But I will say Barblend is going to be really good, and it's all over the internet right now. So during a launch, when something's all over the internet, it's a great opportunity for you to talk about it because they're seeing it on infomercials, they're seeing it from other people's posts. And so for you to be like, hey, this is also something that my team's doing or that I'm doing, it just kind of gives you an extra leverage, and for you to share stories of transformations or why you're doing it. So for me, with Barblend, I'm pregnant, obviously. And so I love that it's a very minimal impact program. So people with injuries, people who have joint pain, like this is a great place to start. And it's a confidence boosting program. That's what how Elise describes it. She created a confidence program. For those of you who have not seen her transformation and read her story, I shared it. Go share that. It's incredible. In 60 days, like her transformation literally happened. She looks years different, in my opinion. But that happened in her creating this program. And she's like, this is going to sound weird. My husband's right here. But she's like the hottest type of female body type. This sounds very strange. But like, does that make sense? She has such a sculpted but beautiful body. This is such a weird thing that's coming out of my mouth right now. But if you see her pictures, you would understand.
She's beautiful.
She's gorgeous.
Inside and out, though. I love her soul. I love, like, if somebody's interested in Barblend, you should get a video of her talking because they will fall in love with her. Like, she cried, and I was like, oh, you're a crier. Me too. So honestly, yeah, I think Barblend is actually a really good beginning program too. I agree.
And it's 60 days, so it's a good chunk of time. But it's not, and it's 5 days a week. So I just really, and it's freaking humbling for people who've come from lifting or doing CrossFit, or like, it's so freaking humbling when your arms are shaking with 2-pound dumbbells. I'm like, what is wrong with me? I've never felt so weak in my life. Anyways, so yeah, does that help, Holly? I think you said that was helpful. But really, that's the beauty of Beachbody On Demand now, is just share with people what you're doing. And then if they come to you and are like, I really love heavy lifting, do you have a program like that? And you don't know, then that's when you can ask me or ask in our team page, and we'll be like, yeah, Lift 4 is awesome, or Hammer and Chisel, or even Body Beast, which is super cheesy, but it's still a great program.
It drives me crazy.
Oh, same. Especially in Hammer and Chisel.
I love Lift 4 though. I just finished that program. Just to give a quick synopsis, Joel can be cheesy too, but in an attractive way.
Attractive way.
But I am somebody who, I hate cardio, but I do like incorporating it in my workout. But I also love lifting. Like I'm a give me the weights kind of girl. And I really did love Lift 4, and especially for people who are looking for something that they don't have to commit that many days a week. For me, I ended up doing like an extra run or extra cardio or something extra, usually because I can't not work out like at least 6 days a week. That's just who I am. But for people who are like, oh, I'm short on time and blah, 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 Lift 4 is also perfect if they like to lift. So.
Okay, well, and thank you. That was helpful. I don't know how an hour has gone by. But I asked my husband this question, and I posted it in our team page. Does anyone have one word that they want to represent this next year? While you guys are thinking out, so mine, and I posted it in our team page, is intentional. And I had a really hard time finding a word, to be honest with you, because I'm not afraid of things. I'm very passionate. I don't like the word balance because I think it doesn't happen. But intentional is my word, because I want to be intentional in my business. I want to be intentional in my marriage. I want to be intentional in my kids. I want to be intentional in my house. I want to be intentional with the things that I do. And in that encompasses saying no to things that aren't in alignment with excellence, having boundaries in my life, prioritizing my self-care, being intentional in my nutrition, being intentional with my workouts. And so that was my word. Does anyone else have one?
I put my word as house.
So you want your whole life this next year to revolve around your house?
Yes, it's all about trying to enjoy my house, pay off the house early. So, you know, I'm making more money to pay off the house mortgage. I'm, you know, working my body so that I can stay in this house for longevity. And so
Does that set your soul on fire?
it does.
There you go then. That's all you need. Cool.
Mine would be achiever.
Ooh, that was my husband's. Or no, achievement? Accomplishment. Achieve. I love it. Tell me, JC, tell me what means to you.
There's so many things in my life right now that are going on. It's insane. And it took me a while to get my priorities straight as far as Beachbody. I mean, really, literally, like a month ago, I was ready to just be a discount coach.
Mm-hmm.
But I have so many different areas in my business and then my personal life, and actually getting that divorce. I know I haven't still not divorced yet, and I want it.
That divorce is on the achievement list.
It is, and I know that sounds terrible, but it is going to be to my better life. Anyway, we'll still be friends, but I need that to happen, and I need to get my business. I need Beachbody to really get, I don't know, buckle down and just get on that. I feel like so confident in it right now, so I'm happy about that. Sorry about the background noise. Yeah, but I just have so many things I need to achieve, and with my books and everything too. So, yeah.
I love that.
Mine is I like your word, but I'm because I want to be intentional too. But for me, I think this word kind of goes in a couple of different directions, and it's enough. I am enough. And what I have currently in my life, I need to start appreciating more. So I'm going to, this is enough. My house is enough. My kids are enough. But also I want to take it in another direction, as I need to do enough. I need to make sure I got, I have an abundance. I'm intentional. I'm doing what I need to do to be what I want to be. So it kind of just, all that word just kind of wraps up a lot of things for me, because I just want to make sure that I'm focused on that enough is enough. I'm going to work hard, and I am enough. I don't have to worry about somebody making me feel like I'm not good enough, or I'm not, important enough, or, I don't know, that word just, for some reason, it strikes passion in me.
I love it. That's powerful.
I'll say mine. I'm not on video right now because I'm coaching my son, but I'm thinking either driven or like motivated. I'm not really sure which one I want to do, but it's more just about being like goal driven and just staying goal driven towards all the different goals that I have, and within my family life, within my marriage, within my business, and parenting, just trying to like be consistent in all of those things.
Cool. I love it.
So I was thinking about having consistent be my word, but my word is unapologetic.
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 It's a word. Look it up.
We made it up.
You made it up. What does that mean to you, Sarah?
There's a lot, and it's a lot about just being unapologetic about what I am, who I am, what I do, about the things that bring me joy. I think I've been looking for confirmation or affirmation or approval from everybody around me instead of just doing what's true to me and trying to figure out what I need to be for everybody else, and instead of just need be me, be true to myself and what brings me joy, and kind of live life that way. And so it's kind of feeding into a lot of things, my business, but also just day-to-day life and how we live our life and all that. So
I love it.
it's gonna be good.
I love it. Holly, do you want me to unmute you or do you want me to just read yours? I unmuted you. Holly? Holly?
Hello.
There you are.
So yeah, I think I said joy before last night. I was so tired. I shouldn't have even been on my phone. And I woke up this morning with way more of a clear head and decided that consistency was a much better word for me. It's been
I love that.
lacking as a mother, as a person, as a daughter, as a sister, as an employee. So that is going to be my focus for 2020
I love it.
for myself.
I love that word so much because especially if you can create like a daily game plan of what you want to be consistent in every day, whether that's, and this is something that I'm trying to do is like my morning routine. Like I'm making my bed in the morning. This sounds so dumb and most of you are probably grown-ups and do that, but I don't. Rachel, thank you for the honesty. I'm like, I want to make my bed in the morning. Like, and then I want to be consistent and like read a chapter out of the Bible in the morning or devotional to get my head straight before I look at my phone. And this is stuff I preach, but I'm not doing, if I'm being honest. So Holly, yeah, I absolutely love that. And if you can create just like small wins that you want to be consistent in each day or with a week, I think that that's going to serve you so well. And I absolutely love that.
All right. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year. Okay, who's next?
I made mine faithful, but it's not like, the more I think of it, it's not like the right word. So I have to like come up with the right word. But just in the last couple of weeks, I've been doing a lot of like self-reflection, and I find that I try to pre-plan and make everything okay for everyone, and it's defeating to me, and it really just beats me down by trying to make everything okay for everyone and trying to like plan out everything. So just going into this year, I'm just trying to be like okay with everything not being okay, just having faith that, you know, good things will come out of the bad things, and just not be so controlling and try to make everything work.
I was gonna say, for if I look at you, you are an extremely faithful person already. Like you are the constant for everyone in your life already. You know, so I think that that's good. That's good. Yeah, think on that. Let me know if you come with the word. I'm trying to think of what resembles that place.
Yeah, I mean, I said faithful, but like I said, it doesn't fit.
Yeah.
Like what I mean, I know what I need to do. I just, I don't have like the actual word to go with.
Let it go, let it go.
Yeah, basically like that.
We'll keep you frozen, and then
and I'll just sing the song constantly.
Sing the song. I'm trying to think of like, I don't know.
But I am being like more intentional. I got this really good, actually devotional book, and it's now I forget the name, but it's Healing the Soul of a Woman. And it's really good, just because I have a lot of things in my past that I haven't really let go of or moved past of. I just continue to bury them. And it's I mean, that's kind of what brought up this whole thing of realizing that I need to, you know, kind of move past and forgive and not make everything okay, because it's okay to not be okay sometimes.
Absolutely. What about healing? Like if this is your year of healing.
That would be a good one. I think it's more
in so many
point.
ways. you know, because it encompasses, especially for you, it encompasses so many different things.
What about surrender?
Ooh, surrender. Ooh.
That's a hard one though.
You're like, wait, and now I'm uncomfortable.
But that's what you were. That's what you were describing. No,
So true. It really
you
was.
That
were
is true.
describing that you wanted to surrender to it and let go and let it flow. So
That is a really good one.
You're like,
calling
damn
you out
it.
on this.
Damn it. Like, that's what I wanted, but wait, I'm not ready.
I don't know if that's the word.
Man, that's
no, that
really
is a really
though.
good one though. That is good. Okay, I hear you. We'll get you a baba in a minute.
I'm writing it down. I'm writing down surrender.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's official. Surrender / healing. But I think that that's really, especially if it's uncomfortable for you, then that's where you got to go.
Yeah.
It's your
Good
word whether you
suggestion.
like it or not.
I love it. Who are we missing? Oh, Rachel. You're in the middle of my screen. It's like we're the Brady Bunch on my screen right now. Go ahead. Go for it, Rachel.
So mine is confident, because that's one area I majorly lack in. And then it's kind of has a backstory to it. So my life has been crazy, especially since we got our puppy. It's just added even more craziness.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
We tried to train her, and
We
it's
could have
wonderful.
told you that.
Yeah. Right? Kids, puppies,
Sometimes
things
I feel
like
like babies are easier than puppies. Sorry, go ahead.
But in the middle of like remodeling and everything, and work's been insane. And I feel like every time I plan out my life, like something else comes up or they change it on me, like, cause I'm work on call basically. So they just get to call me in whenever. So anytime I plan out anything, it kind of all goes to hell, and I end up running around like a hot mess, like turkey with my head cut off and and everything. And so it's kind of funny because someone at work was talking about how no matter how crazy at work it is, I always tell everyone, I'm like, we're going to be fine. It's going to be fine. We're all here. We're a team. We work together. It's going to be fine. And she's like, I feel like you're the calm in the middle of the storm sometimes. And I'm like, that's funny because I feel totally the opposite in every area except work. She's like, you always just have this confidence that like, it's going to get done. Everything's going to get done eventually. So don't worry about it. Don't stress. And so I feel like that's kind of an area, that's something I need to bring home to my daily life as well. So
I love that.
I'm like, it will all get done. What needs to get done will get done. So
I love that. And maybe if you can take some time for yourself and sit down, and maybe with Sean too, and look at this year and and this is what me and my husband did yesterday. Like, how do we want this year to be different? Because we all know that we're going to get blindsided this year by things. It's just life. And so how can we preventatively take action to purposely put things in place to add joy, positivity, and structure to what we really want to accomplish this year? So maybe for you, like your remodel, I know that that's like it's been a huge stressor, right? Yeah. So like, what are things that you could do to either move it faster or get out of your current situation? The same with work. And I don't know any logistics. I'm totally throwing things out there. But like what you could do to not be on call so that you're not always stressed out. Like that is, I understand from my husband's job, like this is an extremely stressful place where you can't plan things. So what can you actually do instead of feeling like you're living reactively to what's happening to you? I feel like in everything right now, because of the circumstances, what can you do to kind of feel more control again over your life and put like little things that are tangible that you can accomplish? Because it's so hard in that place of life where you're like, I can't accomplish anything because everything's crazy. And that's a really hard place to be. And that's kind of, I feel like with our family where we've been the last quarter of the year, like we're just like, you're constantly spinning and trying to survive. And so you feel like you're not getting anywhere. And that's like the feeling of being stuck is so shitty. It's, oh my gosh, there's kids on this It's so crappy. Sorry. So yeah, maybe you can like proactively start thinking like, what can I do differently that I've never done before this year that will maybe change the course of how things have been going. And then you feel like you have some confidence and control over.
Right.
Because yeah, that is hard. Cool. Awesome, guys. Sorry we went a little over an hour, but I really wanted to do that part at least. Anything else, any questions or anything you guys want to share before we jump off? Cool. Well, I'm excited about this year. Oh, I never finished that list of books. What the heck happened to me? Poor Becky. She's like, you're the structure in my chaos. Go for no. No, Sarah? Thought I had it.
Is it Eric Worre?
It's Ray.
Ray
No.
Higdon? No.
This is the specific Go for No book that I recommend. It's Go for No for Network Marketing. I need to change that.
Yeah.
And it's by Richard Fenton. There's 3 authors. Ray Higdon. It's, I don't know if you can see that. Ray Higdon, Richard Fenton, and Andrea Walt. And then GoPro is by Eric Worre.
Oh yeah.
These both are phenomenal for any of you who have a fear or feel nervous or ashamed or whatever about being a part of a network marketing company. I did, to be honest with you. It was always icky to me until I learned actually what it was. And then I'm like, everyone who's not in it is dumb. It's like the most genius business model out there. And I love that in GoPro, he says it's not perfect, but it's like the best business model out there. And once you understand it, the potential of it, it really is. What are you changing your word to, Felisa?
So I decided, after listening to you guys, I want to focus on positive. You were talking about like, what do you want from this year? Like, how can you change this year, make it different? While, enough is a big part of me, and I need to focus on that as far as my confidence level and not letting people bring me down. Personally, I want to focus a lot on my business this year. And because I do focus most of my energy on my family, and I tend to put everybody first. And I want to, I think, change my word, unless you guys can come up with a better one, but to action. Because I always plan to I plan to act, and I have every intention of acting. And then a lot of the times when it comes down to it, there's laundry, there's this, there's that, and I never get around to taking action in my business and in getting to that point of financial and freedom. And that's my why for my business, is to become financially free and time flexible, So I think I need to change it to action or something of that nature.
You might need 2 words, because the reality is you're taking action on things, but you're not prioritizing yourself.
Right.
You're not prioritizing your own goals and your own stuff, and you're letting other things get in the way of what you really want. And this is where like necessity is super important, because I was sharing this with Sarah yesterday. When I started, I had the blessing of working in a very toxic environment in prison. And I knew that if I didn't figure this out, I was going to be there where I hated my life. It was impacting my family, and I knew that I wouldn't be able to raise my kids. I had a lot to fight for, and that really meant a lot to me. So my necessity was extremely high. So I didn't, and I talked with my husband about it, and like that was huge to have him on board, because I had to and you have to, the truth is this business, if you really want to go big places, is there's an element of sacrifice in some areas, whether it's a clean house, never clean, or laundry or whatever, to where you're prioritizing your business because it means this for your family. It means cruises, a trip every year for your family, or it means financial freedom where you can take your kids on vacation, whereas you couldn't if you were stuck to a job, or whatever that is. Those are just examples. But for all of you, the necessity component is what comes next after you talk about your word for the year and the vision for your business is, why does it have to work, or what's the cost if it doesn't? And for everybody, that's going to be different because we're all different. And that's the beauty. But if we don't get clear on that, like, why does this have to work, or what's the cost if it doesn't, then when things get hard for us, or when things come up, then we're always going to sacrifice our business first because we didn't have it before. And so we'll slip into old ways. And I'm not just talking about to you, Felicia, I'm talking to everybody. It's the hardest part of this business, is because we're not going to a brick and mortar building. We're not having someone else sign our paychecks, and we're okay without it. A lot of you are okay without it, without your Beachbody income. It's not awesome, but you're okay. And so for a lot of people, there's not a high level of necessity. And I heard from Mandy Kai, who hit 15-star and like the fastest person ever. She said, I had to figure out a way to need this, or I knew I wouldn't do it. And I was like, wow, that's really powerful. And that's the only thing I could think of that I had it as an advantage in the beginning, was I hated my situation. I knew I had to make $4,000 a month in order to quit my job. And I had to get there as quick as possible, or I was going to be stuck in a life-sucking situation. So.
How long did that take you?
What was that?
Go ahead, JC.
How took you to get there, to make the 4,000?
2 years. 2 years. Because I started in March 2016. I retired from my job in June of 2018. 18. Yeah. And that was, mind you, I was working full-time in prison all of that time. Most of that, for like a year and a half of that. So I had to figure out how to do it part-time because I had a baby at home always, and I was always working 40 to 60 hours a week in prison. So it just came down to, like, I did 22-minute hardcore because I knew I could do a 22-minute workout. I woke up at 4 a.m. I went to bed early and woke up at 4 every morning, did my workout, nursed my son, did a post before I went to work. At lunchtime, I'd go out to my truck, write a post or answer comments on my lunch break. And then when I got off work, I would answer comments in my truck before driving home. I would get home, spend time with family, and then I'd have, 20 minutes to an hour where I would be watching YouTube videos or doing I didn't know what power hours were before. I didn't have a business activity tracker, which I think those are helpful, but I made my work my mission field because I hated my job so much that I had to find joy because I couldn't get out of it. So, and that was really, it's not super complicated, but I was so excited about what I was doing. So that's kind of what fueled me, I think. Felicia, did you have something else you wanted to say?
I was just saying that, like thinking about what you again, the whole action, what you want for this year. I think a part of it is the reason, think about why I don't act. Mm-hmm. What is it stopping me? It's not the laundry. Fear of failure. I don't know if you guys have ever watched, I've mentioned this show before, but the Goldbergs. Beverly Goldberg talks about how she's a mom. That's all she is. She's a mom. I could have been a lawyer. So like she likes to talk about what she could have done because she was in college and she could have gone. And I don't want to be that person who keeps talking about, I am this. I am, having to keep reminding myself that I can be successful, that I am a fitness coach because I am. But what does that mean? What am I doing with that? But just having to keep telling myself, oh, I can be, I will be. I want it to be. Mm-hmm. And I think, I don't act because I'm afraid of, like you were talking about the confidence. I'm afraid of the no's. I'm afraid of failing. All these people who tell me that I can do it. And I say, yeah, I know I can do it, but do I really believe that?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's part of why I don't act, along with being overwhelmed. And that's why I like the group that you have, going on, but
Mm-hmm.
overwhelmed by where to start, how much time to put into what, because there are so many things. While technology is great, it's also it makes it, how much time do I focus on Instagram? How much time do I focus on Facebook? How much time do I focus on inviting? How much time do I focus on?
Yep.
So I think that's where I get crippled. And I'm sorry for keeping everybody, but I get paralyzed almost by it, where I'm sitting at my desk and I'm like, okay, I need to do something. And I don't know if anybody else has ever been this way, and then I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted by even just thinking about doing this stuff. And so this year, I don't want that to be me. And so I don't know what word describes all of this, but it's just a huge ball of emotions about why I'm not acting, because dang it, I know that I can do this, and I know that I'm a completely capable individual. I just made like a company. I raised their monthly revenue by 15 to 20,000.
That's amazing.
In 6 months.
Right.
So I know that I can do this. I just don't know why I'm not doing it. I mean, I know why, but I don't know what one word to tell.
So I feel like you need to, and I honestly wanted to say this from the beginning, but I wasn't quite sure yet. But I think yours needs to be fearless action. And who else can relate to what Felicia just said? I know all of you can, because you've all talked to me about it. But seriously, so I really think for so many of you, because what you guys know, the acronym for fear, false evidence appearing real. That is fear. It's something you're anticipating happening before it actually happens, and that becomes your reality that stops you. And so one of the best things I got from the book, Get Over Your Damn Self, was the chapter on fear. And it talks about, instead of being someone who runs from your fear or stops because of your fear, choose today to be the person that runs towards it. And your mission this year is to run towards the things that scare you. And it becomes so fun. That book is why I quit my job. Because I was scared. Like, you guys know, the consistency of income in this business is not always the same every month, right? And that is scary. So for me, like, my family's livelihood depended on my income as well. And so me quitting my job, giving up my identity as a registered nurse, was so freaking scary. But that book was like, if I'm going to tell other people to be fearless and go towards their fears, I have to go first. And so that's the beauty, I feel like, of coaching, is there is a level of, I have to step up if I'm going to ask other people to step up. And you just do the dang thing. And so I think for you, Felicia, that could be like fearless action, or just being fearless. Live fearlessly. Make that your thing. If something scares you, you do it. Like, it's not even a question. If something scares you to talk to a gym owner about Beachbody, then you do it. And then with that, Brendan Burchard says that confidence comes from acts of courage. You don't first get confident and then perform the acts of courage. You have to first perform the acts of courage, then comes the confidence. And that really helped me realize, like, if I want to level up and I want more for my life and I want to be different and I don't want to let my circumstances define me, then I've got to get over it. Like, I have one life to live. Who cares about these other people? Why am I letting all these other people define my worth and what I should do with my life? I know that this is incredible and I need to convince them. And that's where things started shifting for me. I didn't always have this type of, like, ferociousness. That's not a word. Gosh. But that right there is really what helped me. So I don't know, maybe it will help some of you, or help you as well.
I like fearless. I think sounds good.
Perfect. Good call, guys. I'll go. Enjoy January 1st. And I'm excited for our level up groups. I think it's going to change a lot for all of us this year. And don't forget, you have these to add your people to as they want to come into this business as well, which makes it really exciting for you to invite to coaching. Just saying, if you all want to level up in your business, inviting to coaching is the easiest way to do it instead of doing it all yourself. And it becomes way more fun. All right, love you guys. Have a good day. Bye. Oh, shoot. I forgot to take a picture. Did anyone take a picture? Where's my phone? Okay. Well, we lost a few people. Sorry. I'm so into the moment. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. I think I took a picture. Yeah, got it. All right. Have a good day, guys. Bye.